Hey, Cameron, gloves red, delighted to be joined by Lightning Lee Mcgregor. Lee, how are you? Okay?
All good, mate. All good, thank you.
Good. Lee, one of the things I wanted to mention first was the fact that you've signed with Wasserman Boxing, which is massive, and you're going to be returning to fight in your hometown, which we've been waiting a long time for on the 21st of July, and also fighting for a world title. How did you signing for Wasserman Boxing? How did that come about, Lee?
So basically, obviously, as everybody knows, it was just the most frustrating time for me these last 18, 24 months, however long it's been. Um, Kind of just due down to no real fault of my own. I've been in the gym, been training. I was going back and forth from London and that for a long time, and then just months were going by, and then I was just like, well, obviously I was given fight dates, and then I'd fallen through. There was issues, and I just next thing I knew, I was like, that's we're nearly a year, and I've not fought, and then obviously I was losing momentum. I was losing. You know what I mean? You know what it's like when you're active and that you're feeling good, you're flying, you're in the gym, you have your break, you get a new lease of life. It's all about like peaking at the right time and all that. But then I found myself just constantly in the gym and no fight date. I never had a fight to then go and switch off and have a little celebrate. Like, so it was just, and then I found myself, I was like, I need to, things need to get moving. I need to get things in place. And so we needed a change, we needed something. And it was just a case of figuring out what we were going to do. Um, and then Wasserman were keen to sign me. I'd I'd imagine we probably could have done something with others as well. But right away, what Wasserman came to me with, I was more than happy with to rather than even go away and then think about it and then oh what have these guys got to say? What have they got? And then you're talking more time. Oh, what we're gonna do? Who we're gonna go with? And there was no messing about with them. They're like, listen, we want to build you. Like we feel like you deserve it. We'll give you the platform you deserve. Channel 5. Everyone was just, it sounded amazing, and I thought, do you know what? This is what I like the fact that it's Channel 5. Started my career off with them, and the viewers, everything about it was good. So there was no hesitations. They put a plan to me, and I was more than happy with it. Didn't think we were then going to go boom straight headline IBO world title fight. But when it got put to me, I was like, well, do you know what? It's an opportunity I can't turn down. So I'm just going to take it. Like I said, I've been in the gym for a long time, so I'm looking forward to it now.
Lee, how hard has it been for you? Because the stable down there seems extremely tight. Like we've seen you on the TV when Leewood defeated Lara. And you're there in fight night. You're talking about last night. You're there with Pat McCormack as well. So kind of extremely close knit gym. So how hard has it been for you seeing these guys being active and getting fights, and you're going down there away from your family that I know you're extremely close to, and you're working away? How difficult's that been for you?
Words can't even really describe it, to be honest, Craig. Like it's nobody understands. Like people be able to feel your pain in that, but they don't really, to be honest. Like I've been in the most challenging times. This has been the most challenging times for me, my whole career, my life. I've been through so much in my life, but this was just this has just been horrendous. Mentally and physically, like really, really hard. And I think it was all happening in front of me, and time was just going by and by and by, and I was like, what's going on? Like, but I wasn't even really thinking about that, like you said there, like with the boys and that, because when you are in the gym and that, your mind sort of goes off it, and you're in your training and that. But um, it's been difficult. I can honestly say it's been really difficult. And there's been times where I have questioned myself and said, is this really what I want to keep doing? Like, can I keep doing this with nothing in the pipeline, all these fight dates falling through? I know I'm more than good enough, but I just seem to be, don't know what happened, mate. Genuinely, I don't know what happened. So it was one of them. This is what I mean. Like, it would have been a little bit easier to deal with if I was like, do you know what? Like, because this has happened. There's been a lot of people in my position, but what's made it easier for them is they've probably been away out on the weekends with their mates. They've probably been going on holidays, going away, gallivanting, drinking, eating whatever they want, doing whatever they want. Whereas I've literally been still continuing to keep myself away from my family and being in the gym, been training, been dedicating myself. And you know something, I think back back at the very start of all this, it probably done me more harm than good doing that,
Yeah,
because I ended up just feeling mentally and physically in a bad place. And I was like, I need a rest. But then it's like, what do you mean you need a rest? You've not fought, you've not been in training camp. Like, I'd been in the gym and all that, but just mentally as well, I just needed it, just felt like I needed a rest. Um, Went back and forward. And during all this time, I was obviously still trying to train through it all, diet, do everything right. And for some reason, I just ended up like, I, I think from the camp for the Diego Ruiz fight, I'd been through a lot of stuff leading into that as well. If you remember rightly, a lot of stuff happened with my dad and all that, and it was just I was even in a bad place then. I still went through with the fight. I was nowhere near my best performance. Still thought I'd won the fight hands down, but and then it's just kept on carrying on and carrying on and carrying on, and I found myself away like ballooned up in weight. But then I was like, not by going and doing what you would normally do, go away. Yeah, I kind of sounds mad me saying this, but I'm genuinely being serious. Drinking, eating, whatever the fuck. I wasn't doing that. I don't know. I was just mentally, physically not in a great place. And I ended up coming back at the start of the year, and I've had to just keep chipping away, getting the weight back down. And like like we say, like I was always big for a bantamweight, so even to then come back and I've not made the super bantamweight limit for over a year. So I fought back in March just there. That was obviously heavier. That was basically super featherweight. So you're thinking like super bantamweight, new weight and everything like that. But even that's still tough for me to make. And ideally, could have done one more. No tick over, tune up, whatever you want to call it. But then when the opportunity got put to me, I was like, do you know what? Let's go. Like I'm not. I've made it clear. Everybody knows that I'm no one for backing down from any challenge. So when that opportunity got presented to me, it can change my life, mate. So I'm not going to turn it down. And ever since I've been given that date, I've just been focused. I've been dialed in. I've been come off the back of the camp with Lee Wood, sparred him that full camp, more than ready fitness wise and that. It's just about managing my training and that now. And I am looking forward to just obviously getting back in the ring.
yeah.
Finally.
I think, from what you've just said there, Leah, like people don't understand how difficult it's been, but you also had like such a sharp rise. Like, the British, the Commonwealth, the European, you go back to the Gerfai fight where you stop him in the first round, 10 fights, and they're like, wow, Lee McGregor could be fighting for a world title in a couple of fights. And then it's just came to a halt through no fault of your own. So to actually now hopefully draw a line in the sand and you look forward to this fighting in your hometown, I think it's the first time since 2017. Am I right?
Correct. Yep. Yep.
So I mean, to be able to draw a line in the sand, you've signed with Wasserman Boxing. They're obviously backing you, by putting you straight in to this world title fight in your hometown. Has there been discussions about the Tynecastle fight? Is that something that you've mentioned to them, and they're like, look, we'll back you with that if things go well?
They know it's a dream of mine. Everybody does. I believe they can and will deliver that for me. But we've got so many obstacles along the way to overcome before that, and I'll be the first to say we can't really look ahead of anything apart from one fight at a time, and my full focus is on this fight on July 21st at Middleweight. But yeah, like you said there, like a bit of luck on my side, and everything like I could be sitting here as a world champion. So yeah, I've had the worst luck ever, probably one of the most unluckiest fighters ever. But I'm putting it all behind me now. Do you know what I mean? It's a new chapter now. Like you said, I did achieve all that so early on in my career. I've experienced all that, and believe it or not, I'm still only 26. Like, I've still got people still just beginning their careers at that age. So to have experienced what I've experienced and achieve what I've achieved at such a young age, to now go into this chapter two, I'm excited for it. And like I said, I've learned a hell of a lot. And I've said before, I remember all the hardships that I'd been through in the lead up to the Gurphy fight and everything like that. It was the worst time in my life. And I said I wouldn't change one bit of it. And I think all this story that we're talking about and all this badness that I've been through, I'll be saying in the future that I would not change one bit about it. I think it's part of my story. I think it's built me to be who I am. And like I said, it's part of my story, and it has been the most challenging time for me. But I believe when I'm talking about my career in the future, even after this fight and the fight after that, next year I'll be saying, yeah, last year was horrible, but I wouldn't change one bit about it. Although during as I was going through it, I hated every minute. I think it's God's plan building me to be strong, resilient, and tough times don't last. Tough people do, and I'll tell you what, it took a hell of a lot of self-discipline, sacrifice. Yeah, like lot, but I think, like I said, I think it's all going to be worth it.
Yeah, and so there's a man coming over here to spoil the party, Lee. Eric Robles. Like, what do you know about your opponent? And we've seen before the curse of these Mexican fighters come over, and someone gets into a bit of a kind of gunfight with them, and of course, you just need to speak to Lee Wood with Lara as well. So, how much do you know about the opponent? I know that you've both fought kind of 13 times, but he's got 9 knockouts. So are you aware of him? Have you seen kind of footage on him? Are you working on a plan with Ben?
Yeah, no, we have. We've seen him. Obviously, it's dangerous southpaw Mexican. There would have been probably many other fights. Ideally we could have took or wanted it, considering the situation I've been in. But these are the fights that I feel like I perform. I turn up, and people see the best of me. These, I don't know what it is. I'm never I train as hard as I ever can every single time I'm in the gym, for every single fight I have. But I don't know what it is. Something on fight night when I've got that fear factor, that little bit of no, this guy's dangerous. I know that I need to be on my game. I feel like that's when I'm at my best. And that's exactly what we've got on July 21st. We've got a dangerous Mexican who's coming over here to fight for his life. Like you just said there, you've just got to look at Mauricio Lara, like, changed his life. So this boy's going to be doing the exact same. We're expecting a tough fight. We've seen clips of him. It's a hard fight. There's no doubt about it. And I feel like it's not one of them where they've picked this fight and it's tailor made for him. Nah, it's definitely not. Like, and I'm going to get the credit I deserve when I beat him, because like I've said, we could have probably went an international route or done an international title, built our way up different rankings. We're going straight for this fight, and we've got a dangerous Mexican in front of us. So it's a fight that's got me up for it, and it's a fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and how, Lee, just if you've spoke about in this interview already with the kind of hardships that you've been through and the tough times through no fault of your own, how are you going to keep your emotions in check on fight night? Because I'm just imagining the atmosphere on the night. You're going to have a lot of friends and family there. You're going to have the heart support as well. So the atmosphere is going to be electric. You're fighting in your hometown, IBO world title. How are you going to stay calm? Because
Yeah,
that's something that, I think about and go, it's going to be a lot of emotion on the night walking to that ring.
yeah, 100%. And that's what, like I've just said there about my experience in the past, I think will help me with that. I've been that young lad, like coming through big title fights. You've seen it, and loved the whole. I do still love the whole part of it all, but I feel like my mindset is just completely different now. Like even like obviously my family and that, my friends, my brother, everybody, they're all saying this is going to be unbelievable. Do you know, like my brother's been on to me saying about um we'll get bagpipes for your ring walk, and this isn't going to happen again. This is like really need to make this unbelievable. Talking about like I used to your fight kits, flash your fight kits and that. And honestly, Craig, I'm not even bothered. I'm not even bothered about any of it. And I didn't mean that in a thingy way or anything like that. I'm just fully focused on this fight, and I think it's the best thing for me uh, to have that mindset. The young coming through, Lee McGregor soaking up the ring walks, everything like that. It's like, listen, it's just part of the game. You love it. They are what make you. They're why you do it. But I'm not even bothered or fussed about any of that. The crowd and that's good. It's going to be brilliant. They're going to be on top. They're going to help me get through the fight. But all I'm bothered and focused about is Eric Robles. Like that's and going in there and winning. Uh, no matter what, going in there and getting my hand raised and winning that belt and continuing to change my life. It's all I'm bothered about. The crowd, no, and no disrespect, like no, I appreciate every single person that's getting behind me, but that's just all going to be blocked out. Maybe that's been a problem of mine in the past. Like I've been too emotionally involved with everything else, and I'm. You've seen it with the Kareem Guffey fight. Like, feel like when I'm just no focused on anything else, I'm just focused on that. That's when you see the best of me. And that's the mindset and attitude that I've got ahead of this fight. Of course, it's going to put the hairs on my back, stand up as a winner, walk out, and that. And I'm going to love it, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to soak it up. But my full focus is just winning this fight. I couldn't care about anything else.
Yeah, I think a performance that I was actually there that night, Lee, but people don't speak about it enough for me. But you're mentioning there, you've got that experience. And I remember you were fighting a Somber at York Hall that night, and you fought him in a phone box and you outfought him.
Yeah.
And if you look at a Somber's record after that, European champion now, he's a tough opponent. And I don't think people speak about that performance enough. So you've proven that you can fight your range, you can fight in the inside, you can tough it out. And fighting obviously Cash as well wasn't an easy fight by any matter. I mean, so you've got that experience behind you. We've seen, was it this week or last week that Maris Predis is on the card as well? Did that come
Mental.
out for you? Because everyone's like, what?
Just, I did hear about it, and I couldn't believe it when I heard, and then it obviously got announced. Like, just surreal, man. It's mental. Like how I'm just as a kid and that you just dream about stuff like this. It's just I don't know how I've ended up in this position from where I was. Like this is what I'm saying. One minute you can be down in the dumps, and the next you can be high. It's the highs and lows of boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just mad. Like to have someone like that on the undercard. It's shaping up to be a brilliant card. It's going to be a brilliant night of boxing. And it's headlined by myself. Literally dream about this stuff as a kid, and I don't know what it is, but it's a good thing for me because I feel like I'm glad that I'm not even like I'm so chilled out about it. I'm not worked up. I'm not all that like the old me would be getting all like nah. I'm just chilled. Like I'm just totally chilled out, and what'll be will be. Like that's all I'm bothered about. I'm in the gym every single day. I'm just visualizing winning this fight. All I'm bothered about.
Yeah.
It's going to be a special event, special show. I'm just so focused on this fight and winning it.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time coming for you, but obviously, like at Gloves Red, we try and do everything to focus and promote Scottish boxing, and I think Scottish boxing has been short of big nights for a while. You've seen, Ricky Burns is fighting Willie Lemond, which is great. And then obviously we've got you fighting on the 21st of July. So it's bringing that kind of good feel factor back to Scottish boxing again. And I noticed someone that you've been sparring with recently is Nathaniel Collins. Someone who I think can spearhead some headline nights in Scotland again, similar to yourself. Like, how long does that relationship go back? I know the two of you were, in Scottish amateur and stuff. You know Nathaniel a long time, and how's the kind of sparring been going?
Aye, no, brilliant. Aye, Nathaniel. I've known Nathaniel for a long time. Like I said, been on the Scotland team. We actually boxed as amateurs. We boxed each other in the amateurs, and then we've been on many trips abroad together. The sparring has been brilliant. We fought. So obviously, I was up the road last week. Just what was it? What was it for? It was just for that one day because it was Pat's fight week, and then I was meeting the team in Sheffield on the Tuesday, and then we had obviously had that good work on the Monday. And I says to Ben, I says, he's southpaw, he's very good sparring for this fight, very similar to the boy I'm fighting. It's ideal sparring and that. And he said, why don't you try and get him down to Sheffield as well? So he come down to Sheffield and we sparred again the other day. And the sparring's been that good. We're even potentially trying to work something out, but hopefully we can even get him over to finish the last bit of sparring over in Forteventura. Because I've obviously got Shabazz Masood, who's another unbelievable talent. My gym mate, who's a brilliant southpaw. More like he's a smart southpaw. I feel like that Mexican, he's going to be coming over. He's going to be standing. He's going to be wanting to have a fight. I feel like we get that more. We get that with Nathaniel. Shabazz will keep you switched on. You're not going to be able to just stand and fight. You need to be smart, closing the gap. So I feel like I've got the best sparring with them too. And yeah, great work for the both of us. And like you just said there, he's a proper good fighter. I think he's going to go on and do big things for Scottish boxing as well. So we might even could be sharing cards. But yeah, he's a really rate Nathaniel. He's come. I feel like he's come on a lot as well. I think winning the British Commonwealth and everything has given him a real boost in confidence, and he's come to a new level. He's a good fighter. Bringing each other on and sparring, it's really good work.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that sparring, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So someone else you're close with, Lee Wood, and you've been sparring through that camp with him as well. Has he passed on any advice about the curse of the Mexicans? And he was boxing beautifully that night against Lara, and it was just switching off for 1 second. Has he passed any of that kind of knowledge and any of the kind of learnings he's had from that?
Yeah, no, obviously Lee, the first fight, like you just said there, he was cruising, and as we know, it's just one little switch off, and it can be over. These Mexicans, that's what they're all about. They're dangerous. Like every second that they're in that ring, they're dangerous. I never really had much to do with the preparation for the first fight with Lara, although the second I did, I was Lee's main sparring partner for the full camp, and it was my coaches Ben and Lee who said that they think. Yeah, people think like frame and styles and everything like that. Oh, we'll get him because that's he's a world champion, so it's perfect sparring. But there could be a solid level European fighter who's not achieved anywhere near as much as the world champion, but he's going to be so much more beneficial for the fight that you're preparing for. And Lee and Ben fought with the looks and that Lara gives with the high guard and the pressing forward was perfect for Lee for that fight. And I'm not joking you, the scenarios and every single bit that we had done in the gym in the lead up to that fight, there was not a scenario where Lee hadn't been involved in the sparring, in the preparation, in the fight. And he said it himself. He said it himself after the fight. He said it felt like you made the fight easy because the fight was the exact same as our sparring, but the sparring was just at such a higher pace. So like I was on Lee so much more than what Lara was. I was being a bit more physical, higher pace. So he just felt like when he got into the fight, it was just like almost slow motion. He couldn't believe the amount of time and space that he had. And that was all done in the preparation. And he said that himself. He said, you just prepare right, and preparation, the fight's won in the gym. And I believe that. And
Yeah,
we're doing the exact same in here. We're preparing hard, getting the right sparring, doing the right things, and I'm excited for a good fight. Listen, it's no, yeah, I'm maybe tall and I can box, but people will be. I'm not going to be. Don't want to give too much away in that going into the fight, but um, you'll not see me on the back foot for this fight. Like I'm fighting a shorter, tough Mexican, but I'll be there. I'll be in front of him, and I'm ready for a tough fight. I'm ready for a hard fight, and I'm confident I'll win this fight.
great. I do want to speak about, because you won the British, the Commonwealth, and the European at bantamweight. You're obviously up at super bantamweight now. Have you got any aspirations, Lee, in the future of challenging for the kind of British, Commonwealth, European at super bantamweight, or are you just looking, potentially just trying to focus on world honours?
Yeah, it all depends, innit? It's like, again, like you just said there, it's ideally it probably would be a nice little, like, to go back down that route. Sort of half. I'm still with the number of fights that I've had. Basically, you could say that I am still at that level, although I've surpassed it with what I have achieved and who I've beat and everything like that. So it's kind of victim of my own success a little bit. So I think the main focus just now is activity. I need to be active. I need to get back in the ring. And it was a perfect opportunity when this fight got presented to me for the IBO World title. The plan is to be busy this year. We want to try and have 3 fights this year, whether that be defend it, win this belt, defend it. An opportunity might come, and it might be, who knows. Like I said, you just got to take each fight as it comes. But I want to push on. I want to be involved in big fights. That's what I want to be involved in. That's the fights that I get up for. That's the ones where I turn up, and that's the where you see the best Lee Mcgregor. So don't get me wrong, if there was a solid level British fight, like for example Liam Davies, Jason Cunningham are fighting
Yeah,
the week after me
yeah.
for the three of the belts, and then you've got all going well. I win that belt. That's a huge British fight. The winner of that, if it made sense, we could do that. But full focus is July 21st, and then we'll see. We'll sit down and we'll see what the plans are after that.
Yeah. And so just finally, Lee, like on fight night, it's sold out. It's a stacked card, as you said rightly. So it's I can't wait for it. It's really good. Some great fighters on there as well. Obviously, you're headlining. Like, what is your prediction for the fight?
My prediction for the fight, I think it's going to be a good fight. I think he's going to be coming out. Listen, he's going to be dangerous early on. He's going to be wanting to wing away early, let his hands go. I'm going to be going in there. I'm going to be patient. I'm confident I win the fight, and I genuinely think I'm going to break him down and get on top of him, and people will be surprised with this performance. I'm prepared well in the gym. There's no doubts in my mind that I come out victorious. I think I will get on top of him and break him down. I'm feeling fit in the gym, feeling ready. But I don't care how I win. As long as I win, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And just finally, Lee, like you were saying that I think you're jetting out tomorrow to Spain to kind of finish the camp. What's the kind of thinking around that?
Well, it's just about the team are going out. Billy Joe's Saunders is going out there as well. We're all going out there. There's no real reason for it. We just thought we've got 2 weeks to go. It's been a hard camp. It's been a grueling camp. I've come off the back of that one with Lee Wood and that as well. I've been down here in London for a long time. Just feel like a nice bit of sun in that for the last 2 weeks. Will just give me that last little push and that little bit that I need just to give me that push through to finish the camp off. It'll be just could see like that last new little bit of lease of life. Nothing better than being in the sun and that is there. So been down here in Harlow for a long, long time. So it'll just be nice just to get a bit of sun to finish off the camp, really.
Yeah, I think in between probably some tough sessions, Lee. I think the pool and lying in the sun's probably better than
Yeah,
Harlow, so it makes sense. Listen, Lee, just want to thank you for your time. Absolutely buzzing to see you back in the ring the 21st, and it'll be a massive night for Scottish boxing. So thanks again.
no problem, mate. Anytime, Craig. Nice one.
Great. I'll see you in fight week. All right, Lee.
Speak to you
Take care,
soon,
mate.
mate.
Bye bye.
Cheers.